Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be looking at Death Note Season 1, Episode 6. So I hope you guys are ready. So let's check it out. I am Al.
Him?
He's nothing like I thought he'd be.
I'm Yagami of the NPA.
Matsuda.
I'm Aizawa.
Mogi. Yukita.
I'm very sorry we're late. Currently, the five of us are...
Bang!
What the hell was that?
If I were Kira, you'd be dead, Mr. Soichiro Yagami, chief of the NPA. Kira needs a face and a name in order to commit murder. But I'm sure you've already figured that much out, haven't you? Please do not give out your name so carelessly. Instead, let's value our lives.
I knew that he needed a face to kill someone, but I don't remember any evidence that showed that he needed a name, too.
There's no way to verify if this is related, but criminals whose names were never released publicly or whose names were spelled incorrectly in the media have not been targeted. We briefly went over it at one of our meetings.
That's enough small talk for now. Come this way.
Oh, right.
Please turn off all your cell phones, handhelds, and any other communication devices and leave them on the table right there.
What do you think, we're gonna be using our cell phones during this meeting to leak information?
It's all right. Just
Can
do as
never
he
be too
says.
careful.
I realize he's been cautious from the very beginning, but I still can't tell if he trusts us or not.
No, I just find them distracting. I can't stand it when people's cell phones are ringing while I'm trying to talk. Let me start by saying nobody takes notes on anything that's said in these meetings. That means when we leave headquarters, any information we need is committed to memory. Please make yourselves comfortable.
Right.
Excuse me, L?
And from now on, I'll have to ask that you stop calling me L. It's Ryuzaki now, just to be safe.
Okay, Ryuzaki. If we know that he needs a name and a face to kill, couldn't we cut down on the number of victims by keeping criminals' names from the news?
If we do that, we'll only be putting the general public at risk.
The general public? Why?
Kira is childish, and he hates losing.
But how do you...
Just what do you mean?
Well, I'm also childish, and I hate to lose. That's how I know.
Ryuzaki, would you mind being a little more specific for us?
Early on in the investigation, I tried to provoke Kira with that broadcast. Up until then, we thought that Kira would only go after criminals. But as we all witnessed, he didn't hesitate to kill my stand-in. Also, as soon as I said we knew he was in the Kanto region, in defiance, he made sure his next victims came from within Japan, as if to say, and what are you gonna do about it?
No way.
He's met each of my
Really?
challenges head-on, and he's never missed an opportunity to return the favor. Now, what do you think would happen if we tried to use media restrictions to hide criminals from someone like that?
I guess...
If you choose to withhold the names of your worst criminals, I'll kill petty criminals or the innocent. I'm holding the whole world hostage, so who's it gonna be? I'm not the evil one here, but all those who oppose me by hiding criminals, you are truly evil. That's exactly how Kira thinks. In any case, let's look at another way we can use the media to draw him out.
But how?
How about something like this? Death of FBI agents infuriates the U.S. Latest killings anger the international policing community. Nations agree to send 1,500 investigators to Japan. For Kira, this will be way beyond what he faced with the FBI. He'll see everyone as a potential threat. Psychologically, he'll start to feel cornered, and that will cause him to take some kind of drastic action.
That's interesting.
So he'll think there are 1,500 when there are really only 7 of us.
And since none of these investigators exist, Kira won't be able to kill them.
It just might work.
Well, before we celebrate, I'll tell you the rest of my thoughts on the Kira case. Kira works alone. He had access to all our classified information.
What evidence do you have that he's working alone?
Hold on, Aizawa. Let's listen to his entire theory before asking questions.
Okay, let's
He
hear it.
needs a name and a face to kill. And to
Yes,
some extent,
he
he
does.
can control a victim's time of death and their actions before dying. We already know that much. Please keep that in mind and listen carefully to what I have to say next. On December 14th, 12 FBI investigators enter Japan. Here we are on December 19th. Using prison inmates, Kira conducts experiments manipulating his victims' actions before they die. In other words, during this window of only 5 days, Kira became aware of the FBI's presence and obviously felt threatened. Because he didn't know any of their names or faces, he was at a disadvantage. He needed to know how much control he had over his victims before he could use it against the 12 agents. And as we all know, on December 27th,
I got a hold of a file which contained all the names and faces of the FBI investigators in Japan, and I succeeded in killing each one of them. It's practically impossible to guess which agent gave the file to Kira, but I have to make sure that no one ever finds out that I came into contact with Ray Penber. How come you're not using the Death Note today? You studying for those entrance exams? Those are the least of my worries. Plus, it's a little late to start now. What you doing? December 19th to December 27th. I've been most active during this period.
during this period, to the best of our knowledge, at least 23 individuals died of heart attacks. But these victims were different from Kira's previous targets. They were all alleged criminals, ex-convicts, or suspects in ongoing investigations, so legally speaking, they were innocent.
That's true.
What this indicates is that Kira had to manipulate these lesser criminals in order to kill those FBI agents. He killed that many people so we'd be unable to tell the decoys from those who were actually used. In truth, he probably only needed a few. He waited 8 days so the FBI could investigate other suspects, which meant there'd be no timeline linking him to their deaths. I suspect Kira had to be one of the people being investigated by the FBI between the 14th and the 19th of December. In fact, I have no doubt. These are files provided by the FBI, and they contain additional information you might find useful. For obvious reasons, you're not permitted to take these out of this room, but
Amazing! There might only be 5 of us, but with this much information, we should be able to cover a lot of ground.
We'll split into 2 teams. One team traces the FBI agents, the other looks at the heart attack victims.
There weren't that many people who had access to information from headquarters, and of those, the FBI only investigated a small group in the first 5 days.
Yeah.
so, does anyone have any questions?
Actually, Ryuzaki, I do have one question for you. And it pertains to what you said to us earlier about how you hate to lose. Does the fact that you've shown us your face mean that you've lost? By just being here, are you admitting defeat to Kira?
That's right. By showing my face to you now and by sacrificing the lives of 12 FBI agents, I have lost the battle. But I'm not gonna lose the war. This is the first time I've ever put my life on the line. I want to show Kira that we're all willing to risk our lives if that's what it takes. And that justice will prevail no matter what.
Hey, yeah, that's right.
I like the sound of that. We can do this!
All right then, let's do this,
Okay,
Ryuzaki.
let's do it.
I had my doubts
Let's
about
get to
whether
work.
it was really him at first, but there's no mistaking it. This man is ill.
Before we go any further, I have to be absolutely sure that none of you are Kira, so I'll need to speak with each of you individually before you leave today.
What's the deal? He still doesn't trust us?
No, I think it's a fair request. Try to see it from his perspective. Kira's been getting information from our headquarters from the very beginning, so there's a good chance that he's one of us.
She's right. Working this case has given us a chance to see him in person.
He's risking his life to be here.
Things are going well. Just one clue, a single decisive factor is all I need.
Just one oversight. A single piece of evidence is all it would take. It could cost me my life.
Just one thing.
What's that one thing? Okay. that one piece.
You already finished studying? I guess. I'll be fine. I haven't missed anything. The biggest risk I've taken so far was that bus-jacking incident. But they'll never be able to connect it with Kira. Fortunately for me, both the police and Elle don't know that Kira can kill people by means other than a heart attack. However, if anyone were to discover that fact, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
What? Does it have to be now?
Your father's been pulling overnighters with no change of clothes, so you're going to bring these to him.
But Mom, I totally promised my friends that I'd go out with them today.
Why don't I go? I could use a break.
Thanks, Light. I owe you one next time.
So, I guess this'll give you a chance to spy on the police. I won't go further than the reception desk. Oh, you're bringing a page. Planning to kill someone? No, but lately I've been bringing a page with me every time I go out, just in case.
Ooh.
That day, Ray said that he was planning to go to Shinjuku. That same day, 4 people died of heart attacks in the Shinjuku area, and there was the bus jacking. There's no way it was a coincidence. That's it. Kira can kill in other ways. It doesn't have to be a heart attack.
The mobile customer you are trying to reach
That's
is
unusual
currently
for Dad.
unavailable for voicemail.
I wonder if he's in a meeting right now.
Please. I need to speak directly with someone from the Special Investigation Task Force. It's urgent.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't help you. As I've told you already, there is no one at Task Force headquarters right now.
There's no one at headquarters? Dad's cell is turned off. What's going on?
What's going
Can you
on?
contact them
What's
somehow?
happening?
I have information relating to the Kira investigation.
The Kira investigation?
My ears are
I'll call
itching.
headquarters one more time for you. One moment.
Hi, I'm Detective Soichiro Yagami's son, Light Yagami. I brought my father a change of clothes, but it doesn't look like he's in. Can I leave them here?
Sure. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Light.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What, you don't remember? You helped solve the insurance fraud murder investigation sometime last year. But hey, no one remembers the receptionist, do they?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with faces. I just need to sign my name on this form, right?
So, Light, does this mean you're going to be helping us with the Kira investigation too?
Sure. If all goes well, maybe I'll find Kira before Elle does.
Find him before Elle does.
As I thought, there's no one at headquarters. You're going to have to trust me on this, ma'am. I'll be sure to give them your message as soon as I see them, I promise.
That's not good enough. I have to tell them in person.
Excuse me. My father is actually in charge of the Kira investigation. If you'd like, I could pass your message on to him. His cell phone is off at the moment, but I should be able to contact him soon. A number of FBI agents were just killed, and a lot of detectives have quit the case because they're afraid of Kira. So he's pretty busy right now.
Light, it's probably better if you don't discuss this with...
True, but it's practically common knowledge at this point. Besides, I feel like I can trust her. You can almost see it in her eyes. She's a wise and careful person. You heard
What
about
is
what happened,
happening?
and you must have figured out that the police had a leak of some kind. And that's why you wanted to tell them in person. You thought this through. Well, am I right?
What's happening?
I'm sure my father will be calling me back once he checks his messages. When he does, I'll give you the phone and let you talk to him.
You sure that's all right?
Oh, yeah. You understand why I can't just give you my father's cell phone number, but I have no problem letting you use my phone to talk to him. You'll have to trust my father and I, which I hope won't be too difficult for you. Why is he so happy?
Oh,
Thank you so much.
hey.
She walked right into that one, didn't she? I've got to say, you must be pretty brave to be getting involved in the Kira case like this.
Oh, not really.
So according to you, is Kira some... we've been talking and I just realized I don't even know your name. My name is Light Yagami. Light's written with the character for moon and Yagami with the characters for night and god. Kinda weird, huh?
My name's Shokomaki. It's written with the characters for shining. Ko as in child, space and ki as in tree.
Miss Maki, right? Miss Maki, I've been thinking about Kira's powers, and I believe they enable him to somehow control his victims before they die.
So do I. It's odd that you say that, because that's exactly what I've been thinking. Kira's able to control their actions before he kills them, but there's more to it. If my analysis so far is correct, Kira can kill in a number of ways, not just with a heart attack.
She knows? Who is this woman?
I don't think anyone else knows this yet. But if the police are willing to consider it, I bet it would help them catch Kira.
You know, that possibility never even crossed my mind. So what you're saying is anytime Kira wants one of his murders to go undetected, he wouldn't use a heart attack.
Right. I'm almost positive that someone I know may have met Kira.
Met Kira? I'm sorry, but if a person came in saying they'd met Kira, the police would be more than a little skeptical, to say the least.
I know. That's why I need to explain it in person to someone from Task Force headquarters. Otherwise, I'm afraid they'll just write me off.
Wouldn't it be better if your friend spoke to them instead?
He probably would, but he's no longer alive. He was one of the 12 FBI agents who came to Japan to investigate Kira.
An FBI agent who met Kira? Could it be?
You see, he was also my fiancé. While he was working, he got caught up in a bus jacking, and I have reason to believe that he met Kira on that bus.
Ray Pinber.
It's haunting you.
Is something wrong?
Nothing. I'm sorry to hear that he passed away. So, what makes you think he met Kira on that bus?
Because 8 days after that bus was hijacked, he died, along with the other FBI investigators. The same man had attempted to rob a bank 2 days before he hijacked that bus. Then he dies in an accident, just like that. I mean, really, what are the odds? I've come to believe that Kira set up that bus jacking. It was planned to bring him into contact with my fiancé in order to obtain information regarding the identities of the other FBI agents so he could get rid of them all.
If I was there,
Anyway,
who walks
what
like
stands
this?
out to me is that
Who
the
walks
hijacker
directly
died in an
behind you
accident.
while you're talking to
In other
them?
words, it suggests that heart attacks aren't the only way Kira can kill people.
Okay, so the bus jacker didn't die of a heart attack. And based on that, you're saying Kira has other ways of killing people?
Yes.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I think that's a bit of a leap of faith.
There's no other way of looking at it. If Kira was controlling the hijacker, chances are he killed him too.
I still don't see it.
I've been wondering about that bus jacking ever since my fiancé first told me about it. After he calmed down, I asked him for details. He didn't mention any names or anything like that, but he told me one thing.
What did he say?
That he'd been put in a situation where he had to show his FBI ID to someone.
Remember.
The operation was undertaken secretly without the NPA's knowledge. He wasn't allowed to show his ID. I think whoever saw his ID that day is responsible for the deaths of all the agents.
Unbelievable. She figured it out. This must be the oversight Light was worried about. I understand. You're the only one who knows any of this, and you want nothing more than to avenge your fiancé by bringing Kira to justice, right? And now you're convinced that Kira can kill without using a heart attack.
Yes.
Yes?
There's no doubt in my mind your deductive skills are excellent, but you can't deny that you have a personal interest in the case. Still, your theory is worth looking into. That's for sure. Your testimony could be central to the case.
It could.
If what you're telling me is true, then it'll only be a matter of time before the police catch up with Kira. The person your fiancé showed his ID to on the bus that day, it had to be Kira.
That's right.
That was close. This woman, if she'd spoken to the police before I met her. But it seems there's a god on my side after all. And not just a god of death.
That's Mac. Alright guys, that was it for episode 6. How are we liking it? Meh. But if I was there, like seriously, if I was there, when Light was walking behind her, man, that was weird. Who walks like that when they're talking to you? When you're having a conversation with someone and they're walking directly behind you? Man, that's weird. That was my opinion. I would have been weirded out by it. But as for now, this is where I leave you guys. Until episode 7, see you next time.